Welcome to another One Acadiana candidate conversation. We are here today. I'm Keely McGivney. This is Andre Bro on the team here at One Acadiana. We're bringing you this series so that you can get to know candidates for office across Lafayette Parish before you head to the ballot box in the fall.
That's right. And for this conversation, we're joined by Chad Desormeaux, candidate for Lafayette Parish School Board District 2. Chad, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor.
We'll start off with an easy question for you, Chad. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the community.
Yeah, so it started. My kids actually got me into it. I worked in the oil field for many years and traveled, and then I guess it's been about 9 years ago, I just realized that I wanted to be home more. Took a major pay cut to leave the oil field, but I took a job with a great company that's here actually locally in Karen Crow, and then we have an office in Katy as well. But my job is very flexible, really good company, and I was able to come home, be home every afternoon, start coaching. I coached at K-Side Park, which is locally here in Karen Crow, for years. I coached a lot of these young guys. I'm showing my age, but they're all seniors now, so it's crazy that they were, when I first started doing this, they were 9 and 10 years old, and now they're all seniors. But and once we got involved with the park, me and my wife and my family, it became uh, a passion almost, where it wasn't enough. We wanted to keep doing more. So every chance we get, we involve ourselves in the community. We've been in Karen Crow 18 years, married to my beautiful wife for the last 15 for those 18 years. So both of us have the same passion. It's real easy for me to get involved in the community and spend a bunch of time because she's just as active as I am. So it kind of works. But once you start getting to learn kids and you get to meeting families, and then they have little brothers and little sisters, it's a continuous process. And you, just because you have one kid that you coached or whatever, he moves on and he gets older, hopefully goes to college. Well, then there's a little brother behind him. So to this day, I still coach t-ball actually, and people always want to know why t-ball. And to me, it's because at 5 and 6 years old, if I can get them to enjoy the sport at 5 and 6, they'll continue to play it. If we ruin that experience at 5 and 6, they may never play baseball again. So that age is key for me. It's where I like to be. But ultimately, for me, it's the years I've traveled. To give that up and come home, I've never regretted it, not once.
Well, wonderful. And that's a great segue into the next question. And you said, why T-ball? Why school board? What inspired you to run?
Yeah, so it's funny that I was actually talking to some different people. I told you my son actually plays sports at Karen Crow High, and the coaches and the custodians, and there's some other people that were involved. And they said, "Hey, Tommy Angel's retiring. He's been doing this many years. We're just looking to see who's available to maybe run for this position." Did some checking into it. I attended a few staff meetings, talked to many coaches. Of course, I have multiple schools: Acadian, Evangeline, Karen Crow Bob Lilly, and Karen Crow Middle. Try to meet with all of them, or at least briefly talk to those guys, talk to those staff members, and then met with the community. Just a lot of different people, whether it was at a baseball game, sitting in the bleachers, or what have you, just picking the brains of all the local community. And Karen Crow was growing so fast, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Everywhere you turn, there's a new neighborhood. There's things coming up, housing, businesses. For me, it's key because I want to really try to do what I can to keep Karen Crow kids coming to Karen Crow schools. And it's nothing against school of choice or anything else. They're great schools, but ultimately, I don't want that to be their only option. I want them to feel like they can come to Karen Crow Middle, or they can come to Karen Crow Bob Lilly, and not feel like they have to go to a school of choice to get the same education or the same facilities. So it became a passion. As that conversations happened, as that talk continued, it went from just kind of throwing it around to just like diving in, head first, let's go. And you can probably tell I get excited even thinking about it. But yeah, Tommy did a great job. He's been, in the position for many years. Uh, I don't want to say it's the analogy like replacing Nick Saban when he leaves, but it's, yeah, I have some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited about it. Tommy has supported me since the day I talked to him. Between the knowledge of things that he's went through, with the energy and the ideas I may have, I think it's gonna be really good combination going forward.
Well, from talking to Tommy, from talking to folks at the schools in District 2, from talking to other constituents, I'm sure some priorities have emerged for you and what you would want to address if elected. What are some of those priorities in the near term that you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, so another little part of my backstory is last year, my wife works in the school system. Actually, she's a clerk. Uh, she started telling me we were actually at a swimming pool in Arkansas. I was in Arkansas for business, and we were talking, and she said, it's just bus drivers just it struggles to get transportation. It's years ago they didn't have this problem, but now they have trouble just getting drivers. Whether it's a staffing issue, whether it's a administrative issue, it's just hot to be on the bus. I mean, there's a lot of different issues, right? So she picked up the phone, made some phone calls. About a month later, I was getting my CDL. So when I'm not doing my real job, I substitute bus drive, and I get to see both sides of that. And so to me, one of the hottest topics right now, uh, actually last year until now, it's transportation. It's tough. Parents are highly upset. You can see it all over social media. So it's definitely a target topic to cover. I don't have the answers, uh, right now, but I do know that it does need attention. And whether it's just that transportation needs support from their board members, or whether whatever the issue is, that is key to me, and it's definitely one of the top priorities to figure out how can we help transportation get better. Uh, it's not one individual's problem. It's not one individual's fault. It's a there's many things that go into it. We're short drivers now. Well, we have a lot of really good drivers that are going to be retiring in the next 5 years. So you think we're short now, we're going to lose a lot of those drivers that's been doing this for a long time. So the shortage there's no wiggle room, and there's no to me there's not much time. We can't waste much time trying to figure it out because this only can get worse. So I have a lot of ideas of what I think would work, but until I actually put my hands on it, get involved, and get some of the information that I can't get as a candidate, but that I could probably get as a board member, I think we can fix it. Now, is it going to be a 1 year fix? Probably not. But if on a 4 year term that I would have, we would see drastic improvement for sure. Uh, and like I said, it could just be supporting the right people. Uh, you know, everybody wants to knock transportation. Everybody wants to knock the bus drivers, and so people just want to knock the parents, saying you're just complaining too much. It's a group thing, right? And if we can just figure it out, come together, transparency to the parents, letting them know, look, we're gonna fix it. We're trying to fix it. Here's what we're trying to do. Make them feel a little bit better. Let them know that it's a short term problem and that we're gonna do some things to figure it out. I think would help alleviate some of the anger in the social media side. And then they just get with the administration and say, hey, what do you need from me? What can we do different? Uh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not a problem that we can be fixed overnight, but it is an issue or situation that I feel like, given enough attention, it can be right the ship. And I'm just excited to help everybody because right now it's a blame game, and that's not what I want. I want to see everybody's ideas and what can we do, and then make it happen. Make a plan, execute the plan.
Well, great. And if, as you're thinking about the school system long term, and you mentioned, the years that are involved in the term, but even the years and beyond, what are your long term priorities that you're seeing for the office for school board?
Yeah, that's so kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier about Karen Crow growing so fast. I mean, it's we're building brand new schools, and we may outgrow those schools within 2 years. So believe me, kudos to everybody that got the new schools approved and got them built. Karen Crow Bob Lilly should be finished around November. I think they're hoping to move in. Prairie's another school. It's not in my district, but Prairie's another new school. But just to focus on District 2 and Karen Crow, which District 3 butts up against my district, we're growing so fast. So is that going to be enough? So our long term things that we got to keep in mind is growth, and how soon are we going to outgrow the new schools, and what are we going to do about that? We're back to temporary buildings, which we try to avoid. And look, the school board and this, the school board members, and even the administration at school board, you can't help growth, right? I mean, there's nothing they can do about that. All we can do is try to get ahead of it and have a plan for it. And that would be key to me long term was, okay, how are we going to handle this growth? Because it's coming. And there's neighborhoods being built I'm driving a bus right now, substituting at Karen Crow High, Karen Crow Middle, and Austin Elementary. And you take a right and there's a new neighborhood. You take a left, there's a new neighborhood. The growth's coming. And so for me, long term, it's What are we going to do about the growth, and how can we transition that growth as best as we can?
Well, speaking of that growth, if you were talking to somebody who is looking to move into your district or anywhere in Lafayette Parish, what would you tell them about public education in the area?
Yeah, so you go to the coffee shop, you talk to one group, and they'll say, "Well, it's great." You go to the other side of the restaurant, and they're going to say, "No, it's horrible." You know, every administration's got issues, right? We all have little things that we're good at and other things that we're not good at. The one thing I can say is everybody that I've dealt with and talked to are passionate about fixing it, and that goes for administration, that goes for parents, that goes for everybody. So I would just tell whoever's coming in, look, we're not perfect, but we are trying to be perfect every day. We're trying to be perfect. We're trying to get 1% better every day, and we're no different than anybody else. If they would go to a different school district, they would find out it's the same issue. So for us, the one thing that separates us from everybody else, and I'm only saying this because of my inside knowledge, is we're passionate about getting it fixed. We have great community leadership here in Karen Crow. We have a great mayor. We have great city council. So we have what it takes. We're just going to keep going and getting better. But the one thing I will say to anybody coming in, come in, hang with us. Don't give up on us, and help us be part of the positive change.
When as you're talking to your constituents in District 2, what would you tell them about why they should vote for you for school board?
It's I use it a lot, and it's cliche, but I just won't be outworked. That goes in my other job. It goes anything I've ever done. If I'm gonna be a dishwasher, I'm gonna be the best dishwasher there is. If I'm gonna be, whatever it is, I want to be the best at what I am. So it's my passion. I won't be outworked. I won't let it happen. Uh, so for me, it's my compassion for this community in particular. I love everyone, and I will help every district in Lafayette Parish. I'm a team player. I will be on board all the time, but with us focus on my district and my area. Uh, More of an emphasis on those areas. So for me, it's the passion that I bring. I won't be outworked, and I'm willing to listen and compromise and be transparent as possible, when possible, to help make sure everybody's comfortable. I use the slogan, "Everyone counts or no one counts," and the reason I say that is because everybody should count. It doesn't matter if they lived on the right side of the tracks, the left side of the tracks, in the country or in the city. Everyone should have a shot or have a chance to be the best they can be, and that's our job, is to provide that opportunity. So for me, to answer the question, my compassion, and I won't be outworked.
Great. Well, thank you. And we truly appreciate you taking the time to help voters get to know you. And with that, we just have one final question. How do voters engage and get more information with you as they're looking to make their decision?
Yeah, so I have a website. It's chad.desormeaux at yahoo.com. Chad.desormeaux at yahoo.com is my email. I also have a website they can visit. If they shoot me an email, I can give them my personal information. I do not mind sharing my cell phone. Every parent that's on my bus route right now has it because they need it. So I don't have a problem sharing my number. Willing to talk, willing to listen. I don't have all the answers, but I definitely will listen and at least start the dialogue to make things better. So yeah, 337-962-5335. That's my cell. And chad.desormeaux.com is my website. And then chad.desormeaux at yahoo.com is my email. Feel free at any of those lines of communication. If I can't answer for some reason, I do have another job, but I will get back to you pretty quickly, for sure.
Great. Well, thank you again. That was Chad Desormeaux. He's a candidate for Lafayette Parish School Board District 2. Chad, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in October.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.